We've got Trenton Berry here. Trenton is the voice of MLRA. Trenton, I know you're probably kind of like I am a little bit, man. You're living the dream here with this deal, working with MLRA.
Yeah, it's going good between that and the business that Stick and I got started. It's all going well. This is sure a fun series to follow with a lot of good drivers, and everybody's got a pretty good personality, so that always makes it fun too. Win or lose, you can usually get a pretty good soundbite out of these guys.
I was going to say, nice drivers, a lot of fun to talk to, and like you say, good interviews all the time. More than willing to give you a little bit of time. Tell me just a little bit about the MLRA and how things are going this year. I mean, everybody knows the economy's kind of low and things are not going the way they should. Of course, racers, I'm sure, are feeling as much as anybody, and these guys are spending big bucks. How's the MLRA going through this? We're going to appoint you spokesman, by the way, for the night.
Yeah,
so
thanks. It's you know, to say that racing's in its glory time would be foolish. I mean, it's, you know, nobody's going to sit here and try to say that. And car counts are down across the board. I think pretty well when you look at about everything, no matter what form of motorsports it is. But you know what? Everybody that has the addiction just kind of binds together and do what you can to get through it. And you know, I just thing that keeps me going. You know, you just hope there's better days on the horizon. I mean, it's, you know, the competition I don't think is much different. It's just that, you know, a lot of times you're not seeing a B feature, or you're not seeing two B features exactly. Like you used to do. And you know, really just looking at race results from across the country, that pretty well speaks for all three of the big classes. You know, the late models, modifieds, and the sprint cars. You know, that's a pretty fair statement, I feel like.
Well, something else, especially us here locally, I think it's affected us. Al Perkey has kind of stepped out of the late model deal. Kelly Bowen has retired, from what I understand. So, man, that is really two big names that have run a lot with MLRA. So, man, it's, I guess name recognition or whatever for the series has got to hurt just a little.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, you know, obviously the Al Perkey is a big hit, and he's running a modified, doing pretty well with it. You know, he traveled up and down the road and was a soldier for a lot of years and had his success, and felt like this was something he needed to do. He's still racing. You know, we still see him out from time to time. And as a matter of fact, I talked to him on the phone this week, and he was pretty happy. He said, you know, I miss the people with the late model series and the traveling and stuff. We had a lot of fun with that. But, you know, he's been there and done that and more than done his share. And, you know, Kelly Bowen, he was never really a regular. He hit and miss here and there, and he definitely kept people stirred up. There's no question about that. And but you know, that's still a big loss too, because he was somebody when you pulled into the pits, you knew that win, lose, or draw, Kelly Bowen would factor somehow in the outcome of that race and would be offer some excitement.
I know we're going to be here at US 36 tonight for this MLRA late model race. What has MLRA got coming up in the future? I think they're heading up to I-80 if I remember, but besides I-80, any other big events coming up on the schedule here in the near future?
Well, always the one that fans locally would be interested in, the race at the State Fair, which is, you know, a big-time tradition race there. It's a standard purse, but to run on that big night at that track in front of a huge crowd is always fun. One of my favorite races is kind of off the radar for a lot of people. It's probably actually the furthest that the majority of the people have to travel to get to is one at McCool Junction at Junction Motor Speedway, Delmer Friesen's racetrack up there. I mean, what a fantastic place. And that's coming up in the second weekend in August. And also the race, the Silver Dollar Nationals. MLRA will have a big role in that race. And just talking with Joe Koziski, it's you know, it's not on the Lucas Dirt Series tire rule. It's not on the Lucas Dirt Series race format. So it's going to be a big time up there this weekend, and it'll be a lot of fun.
I know a lot of MLRA drivers will be there, but the race at Lakeside also
yes.
For around NASCAR time, sure. It'd be a big one too.
And that one just escaped my mind simply because of the fact we didn't get to go there last year because of the flood. But you know, back there for the US MTS race last weekend, and wow, what a turnout! The racetrack was fantastic. You know, that's one of the few places, whether it's hammer down and completely wide open or slick and smooth, that you can usually see just a phenomenal race. And they did a good job. And kudos to Mark Olson, the staff, and everybody. And cool to be bringing Metro Sports back out there. That's something kind of outside of the box. And you know, we've seen Mark do that through the years. And it's great to see Lakeside back going. But yeah, that race was at Heartland Park last year, and obviously not going back there this year, but to Lakeside Speedway.
Yeah. That kind of brings us up to you and Stick Boy and your little project that you've got going. Folks, I'm going to tell you what, if you want to see the top quality, and I mean top quality videos of late models, modifieds, you got to get on racingdirt.com. Trenton, all I can say is the best stuff I see anywhere I look, man.
Well, I appreciate that. There's a lot of people out there that work awfully hard in racing, and for you to mention that you appreciate the work we do means a lot. And you know, there aren't a whole lot of people that soldier up and down the road a whole heck of a lot more than you do. So we appreciate that definitely. And we're in our second full race season now, so things are going good. You know, we've kind of changed the business model around. Some people have seemed to like it. Some people it's taken them a little while to warm up to. But the fact is, this is what Stick and I do. You know, whether it's the websites or covering the races or you know, helping work with any of these series. This is how we eat. Yeah. So it's something that we better be all in on and better put our best foot forward every single day. And I feel like if you guys check out the site and what we're able to do, and you know, my odometer says we're at least doing something.
You're getting around. I know the feeling on that. Also, you guys do some live, on an audio cast.
And we don't do a ton of those. And as you said, we've pretty well made a focus to stick with Midwestern dirt late model and dirt modified action. And we did a race out in Jetmore, Kansas 2 weeks ago in a USMTS race just up the road at Mike Johnson's wonderful racetrack. By the way, Mike has been a phenomenal supporter of us since we started with Racing Dirt, and want to send us a special thanks out to him. People like him are really what help keep us going, and we've done a couple of those so far. And you know, we don't look to do a ton of those, just enough to keep our name out there. And you know, the one out at Jetmore is another great partner that we have with Racing Dirt with Patrick Johnson, a businessman from Springfield, Missouri, and a racer.
Got a lot of ties down that way. I mean, sure. Quite a few racers in this series, plus, like say, just people that you know. Put you on the spot a little bit, Trenton. You follow this series all the time. I see them periodically. What do you think on this track? Who's going to pull this race down tonight?
Well, I think tonight you're probably looking at
2 or 3?
3, 4, maybe 4 different drivers.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Fast and hammer down the typical Mike Franks track would benefit a rocket car. So certainly got to think Eric Turner's going to have a shot. You know, we'll have to wait and see. He's been fast. He's not won yet this year, but he's not raced a lot either. Terry Phillips has been basically invincible the last month. Reeled off 6 late model wins. Wouldn't surprise me. He's only raced here 1 time. John Anderson's not had a finish in MLRA action this year worse than 8th. Every race has been inside the top 10. Most of those inside of the top 5. He's going to be right there battling for it. And I also think Will Vaught's going to have a pretty solid chance tonight. You know, we've seen him kind of back his schedule off a little bit here in the last little bit, and has had some tough luck. But he seems rebounded and ready to go. And it'd be kind of a nice tune-up for these guys before we head to I-80.
I don't know about you, but I am ready to go. The heat's been boiling all day, man. I'm ready to see some action on the track. I know we're going to probably see a pretty good race. Looks like car count, like we talked about, might be down just a little bit, but that doesn't take anything away from the competition. I mean, the cars and the drivers are here, so we're still going to have a good race.
You know, and it's such a double-edged sword because, you know, guys like Stick and I in the media, honestly, I could really care less to see 2B mains. If that means I can get home and we can get our footage edited quicker and get to bed, that's great. But with that, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, oh, it's great that there's not 40 cars here in the pits, because, you know, I'm a firm believer that car count's a pretty good indicator of the overall health of the sport. So it's, you know, I try to get up every day and look at the sunny side up and see the glass half full. So we'll take it from that approach and keep our fingers crossed that the economy shakes out and we can get some more cars here in the future.
Once again, Trenton Berry, the spokesperson for MLRA, going to be having a big race here tonight with the late models. Man, I'm ready. Let's do it, Trenton.
Yeah, I'm ready too. I think it'll be great. You know, it's been since 2009 that late models have raced here at Mike Franks Oval, and told a lot of these guys, you better strap in and be ready. It'll be fast.
Terry Phillips, man, things have turned around for you here, it seems like, in the last month or month and a half, and doing really good with that Bloomquist.
Yeah, we're starting to figure it out, you know. I knew it was fast from the get-go. We're just trying to figure things out and know what to do when the track changes, so getting a little closer.
I was going to say, something new, man, is always a new challenge. You got to, like I say, take your time, kind of figure it out. Terry, I wanted to ask you about this race here tonight at the US 36. Do you have any special preparations you have to go through to race on a day like this? I know you came through Kansas City. We've had 106 down there. I think last time I looked at my car, 103. You got any special preparation? Drink a lot of water? Do anything to get ready for a deal like this?
No, yeah, you know, you just gotta keep hydrating, but you know, that's with anything else. There's people that work construction that has a lot harder than we do, but yeah, you just, you know, I mean, it's just a another day at the racetrack for us. We try to be ready all the time when when a race calls in the middle of the week or 100 degrees or 40. You just got to be ready. So that's what we try to do.
I was going to say, coming out of them air-conditioned haulers, but, man, I seen a bunch of people sitting out. I mean, just like right now, it's just like it's a normal race night. Everybody's out here talking, having a good time. They're all in the shade, but like you say, you just have to adjust to the conditions, whatever they are, because, I mean, same way in the spring or the fall. It gets cold.
Yeah, you're just out here getting used to it probably more than anything, and then getting to see all the people you don't normally see. That's the main deal. That's why we're all out here, but just getting ready to go.
Have you run this track here at US 36 before?
Yeah, 3 years ago, maybe 4. One time, long time ago. So things are a lot different now with my cars and motors and everything. So it'll just be a new experience for me.
I'm certainly looking forward to it. I have never seen late models around here, so it's going to be a new experience for me. But boy, if this is anything like it normally is, it's going to be fast and then faster.
Yeah, I mean, this is a banked up, fast little joint, so I was excited to come. So hopefully we can put a good show on for the fans and get to come back.
Yeah. We got to watch this guy tonight. I'm telling you now. Terry Phillips, have some fun out there, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
The year points leader. New starting procedure tonight. Guys will fire from the chalk line in turn 4. Green is out. Here we go. Kevin Sather rolls through turns 1 and 2. Moss runs second, and John Anderson has to get off the gas and wall up to stay out of the 1M of Rob Moss and the 1 of Will Vaught. So coming around now, we'll get it sorted out. Kevin Sather leads lap 1. Will Vaught runs second. The 2 of John Anderson runs in the 3rd spot. Rob Moss 4th. Then it'll be Mark Dotson 5th and Eric Turner 6th. As Will Vaught now looking to the low side as they complete lap number 2. He'll try to set up the 3 for the pass. Boy, these two have some history. Back at the Show Me 100, Will Vaught got into the 3 of Kevin Sather as both cars were into the Show Me 100, concluding a heat race on that Friday night as Vaught's able to roll around the 3 of Sather now cleanly. He'll take the top spot. Sather second, John Anderson third. As the 3 and the 2 roll side by side, Anderson out looking to roll around him on the inside of turn 3 and 4. He will do so. John Anderson up to second. Now Kevin Sather back to third. So taking a look here, Will Vaught from 3rd to 1st, John Anderson from 4th to 2nd. As your second grouping of 3, we'll find Rob Moss in the 1M, the 85 of Mark Dotson, and the 33X of Eric Turner. Will Vaught completing lap 6 of 10 here as we race on lap 7. Oh, kind of rough and tumble there through turns 1 and 2. At least early going here in Lucas Oil Products heat race number 1. Your top 3 cars now spread out. Vaught's got a straightaway on the 2 of Anderson. Then it'll be about the same distance back to Sather in 3rd. Dotson 4th, Moss 5th, Turner 6th. They'll look up one more time here for Lucas Oil Products heat number 1, 9 complete. Vaught, Anderson, Sather. Will Vaught, nice and clean down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. He'll work off the number 4 turn and take the win. Second goes to the 2 of John Anderson. And finishing in the 3rd spot, the 3 of Kevin Sather. Lucas Oil Products heat race number 1 wraps up like this out of Des Moines, Iowa, finishing in the 3rd spot, the 3 of Kevin Sather. Second place will go to the number 2 of John Anderson, and your winner out of Crane, Missouri in his Warrior race car, the 1V of Will Vaught from Crane, Missouri. Interesting, talking to Will before the race, he said, this place kind of looks like Peevely, and if anybody knows Vaught's track record at I-55 Speedway over in the St. Louis area, you know he is pretty tough to beat over there, so no surprise he's able to pick up this heat race win from the 3rd starting position. Vaught also one of 3 cars guaranteed into the Silver Dollar Nationals taking place up at I-80 Speedway this weekend. So he gets the racing action for the week, started off on the right foot. On the pole, Pro Power Rocket Race Car out of Port Washington, Wisconsin, the 0 of Jim Richtech to his outside. Henderson Motorsports, Banner Valley Hauling, Cooley Transport, car number 21, Billy Moyer out of Batesville, Arkansas, Moyer Victory Circle, Clements Power, row 2. Charlie Speed Machine-powered rocket race car out of Council Bluffs, Iowa, the 3 of Mike Collins, and was outside in a Longhorn chassis. Simpson Farms and Gear Wrench, the sponsors for the 32 of Chris Simpson. Starting 5th on the inside of row number 3 from Marshfield, Wisconsin, an MB2 custom car. Roush Shades Power, the 9T of Tim Eisenberg. As Eisenberg currently sitting in the 4th spot in standings for the Corn Belt Clash Series, and to his outside the 75 of Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri. Bloomquist car, Roush Shades Power, Andy's Frozen Custard, and Don Babb Motorsports on the quarter panels and the sides of the 75 of Phillips. Again, 10 laps. Passing points set the field. Rick Tick and Moyer set the pace. It'll be those two guys that'll have to fire from the chalk line there in turn 4. These guys were told in the drivers' meeting a new hard and fast rule for where they will start the races. It'll be Rick Tick and Moyer. Moyer easily by the 0 of Rick Tick down through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Moyer now opened up a 4 to 5 car length advantage. Rick Tick holding on to the 2nd spot, but Chris Simpson trying to get right up in there, as well as Terry Phillips. Oh, they're 3 wide. Oh, no. Wow. Terry Phillips also almost ended his night before he ever really got started. So it'll be Moyer, Collins, Simpson, top 3. Phillips now able to slide around the 9 and the 0 up into 4th. Simpson now setting his sights on the 3 of Collins, midway down the back straightaway into turn 3 as Billy Moyer's opened up a straightaway. Collins and Simpson 2nd and 3rd, Phillips 4th, Eisenberg 5th, and Rick Tick 6th. Best battle on the track right there for 2nd still. A couple of Iowa drivers. Chris Simpson in his 2nd year running a Longhorn chassis, built out of the Bobby Labonte Racing shop in North Carolina. Moyer now down through turns 3 and 4. Collins 2nd. Simpson now, he'll get a good run as Collins will get up and out of the racing group. Simpson up to 2nd. Collins back to 3rd. Phillips now in 4th. Collins in danger of losing another spot as Terry Phillips digs on the exit of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Phillips will have to whoa up to stay out of the left quarter panel, the 3 of Mike Collins. So it'll still be Moyer, Simpson, Phillips now around Collins. Collins back to 4th. So Terry Phillips from the back to 3rd. Chris Simpson from 4th to 2nd, and Billy Moyer from the outside pole to the lead. Here as we've got 6 laps in, 7 laps in. Now make that as we race here in lap number 8. It'll be Moyer, Simpson, Phillips. Then back to Collins, Eisenberg, and Rick Tick, your 6 cars. Moyer right on the low side of turn 1 and 2. Simpson runs nearly an identical line. Phillips up a groove or so higher. As Moyer will exit turn 4 and see the white flag. One more circuit around the US 36 Raceway. Moyer, Simpson, Phillips. Has trouble there for the 9T of Tim Eisenberg. So he'll pull on the front straightaway as heat race number 2, brought to you by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. We'll go to the 21 of Billy Moyer. 2nd to the 32 of Chris Simpson. Terry Phillips finishes in the 3rd spot. So Terry Phillips comes home 3rd. Chris Simpson comes home 2nd, and out of Batesville, Arkansas, in the Moyer Victory Circle car. Over 760 feature wins in a Hall of Fame career. Quite simply put, he is the best to ever sit behind the wheel of a dirt late model. The 21 out of Batesville, Arkansas, Billy Moyer wins Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps heat race number 2. Hey, while we got a second here, did anybody come to see Jimmy Owens race tonight? I know we're in the midst of this late model action, but does Jimmy Owens have any fans here tonight at the US 36 Raceway? What a run he put on. He put on a good show down at Lucas Oil Speedway over the weekend, too, as he captured the CMH Diamond Nationals, also the Show Me 100 earlier there this year. He'll look to repeat that performance with the Lucas Oil's Late Model Dirt Series and the MLRA up at Greenwood, Nebraska this weekend. Heat race number 3. This one brought to you by Schoenfeld Headers. Schoenfeld Headers, located out of Van Buren, Arkansas, been making world-class headers, great products for years. Starting on the pole in a GRT race car out of Grand River, Iowa, the 65 of Ron Benning to his outside. From Tiffin, Iowa, the Mac Tools Precision Performance number 50. It's a Barry Wright chassis. Denny Eckrich, row 2, the older brother of Chris Simpson, who we just saw have a strong runner-up effort there in the last heat race. This is Chad Simpson out of Mount Vernon, Iowa. Chad Simpson currently 2nd in Corn Belt Clash standings. He was a champion the last 2 years in that series. And to his outside, 3rd place finisher in Lucas Oil MLRA points 2 years ago. Kind of running an outlaw independent type schedule this year. A brother to Denny Eckrich. This is Dave Eckrich in car 58. Also a Barry Wright car, Grove Power. And from Lamona, Iowa, the Lamona CarQuest sponsored car, Russell Baker Power for the 8 of Sterling Perkins. So these are your cars on the grid here for the second, or rather for the third and final heat race tonight. All these cars go to the feature this evening. It'll be Ron Benning and Denny Eckrich up front. Schoenfeld Headers Heat 3 getting set to roll. Off the number 4 turn, it'll be Ron Benning and Denny Eckrich, Chad Simpson, Dave Eckrich. As Benning will get shuffled back. Dave Eckrich all sorts of out of shape. As the marbles up in turn 1 and 2 will save him. So Denny Eckrich, Chad Simpson now through turns 3 and 4. Boy, good battle right up here. Eckrich able to hold off the 25 of Simpson. He had the faster line through turns 3 and 4. We'll see what happens. Oh, Denny Eckrich bicycles the car. Almost over. Luckily, he only loses one spot. He'll lose all kinds of momentum, though. Dave Eckrich will get around him, and you got to wonder if the 50 has trouble or if he's just needing to get himself regrouped. He is off the pace bad. Trouble there for the 50 of Denny Eckrich. That will slow the field and bring out a yellow flag on the racetrack. Oh, the 50 of Denny Eckrich trying to hold off Chad Simpson there in car number 25. Having all cars on the front straightaway following the race, and then also the winner will come down right here on the access road behind the flag stand to meet and greet with the race fans following the conclusion of the action. 3 laps in. Here's rather as we race on lap number 3. Simpson, Eckrich, your top 2. Look like it'll be a battle between those two as Denny Eckrich now will roll to the inside of the 65 of Ron Benning. But they're at least a straightaway back now, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As Chad Simpson, Dave Eckrich, your top 2, still side by side. Wow, good run right here in Schoenfeld Headers Heat 3. As Chad Simpson will bicycle now, Denny Eckrich will roll by him, or Dave Eckrich rather on the low side will roll by the 25 of Chad Simpson. So brand new leader this time at the line. Pair of Iowa racing veterans in the top 2 spots. These guys both used to race with what is now the defunct WDRL World Dirt Racing League. Eckrich, Simpson, Denny Eckrich now back up to 3rd. Dave has now put 4 to 5 car lengths on the 25 of Chad Simpson. As it looks like the 65 of Ron Benning here in danger of going a lap down, but we've got just a lap and a half to go. We'll see how Dave Eckrich plans to maneuver the 65 of Benning here. He'll roll the low side of 3 and 4, charge hard off the corner. White flag, 1 more lap. Eckrich will roll to the inside and get around the 65 of Benning. Down the low side of turns 3 and 4. Dave Eckrich gets it done. Chad Simpson finishes in the 2nd spot. Denny Eckrich from the pits back to finish in the 3rd spot. So we'll hit you with your top 3 finishers. Denny Eckrich from the pits to 3rd, finishes in the show position. 2nd goes to the 25 of Chad Simpson, and your winner out of Cosgrove, Iowa, car number 58, Dave Eckrich. So your 3 heat race winners: Lucas Oil Products Heat 1 to Will Vaught, Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps Heat 2 to Billy Moyer, and Schoenfeld Headers Heat 3 to Dave Eckrich. That'll bring us to intermission time here at US 36. Top shoes in the field tonight. Did anybody come to see the 21 of Billy Moyer win? Anybody think Mr. Smooth's going to be able to pick it up? He's got 14 wins so far this year, the most of any dirt late model racer in the country. As the field gets set to form up 4 wide. Any Terry Phillips fans here around the area tonight? Only Terry's 2nd time ever here at the Osborne, Missouri Oval. Field's going down the backstretch. Fans here on the front straightaway. You're ready to hop up on your feet here for the parade lap. 850 horse, all aluminum motor. Dirt late models coming your way. Be sure to wave to your favorite driver here as they get set to show their support. They're going to get set to roll. Dave Eckrich, by virtue of his heat race win. Will Vaught, by virtue of his heat race win, will make up the front row. We're going to get set to roll. 40 laps here, US 36 Raceway. As it'll be up to Eckrich and Vaught to get the race started. Green flag getting set to roll. Showtime here at US 36 Raceway. Dave Eckrich and Will Vaught lead the field down in the third. Moyer and Anderson run third and fourth with Simpson and Tow in fifth. Vaught now rolls the outside of Dave Eckrich. Down the back chute into 3 and 4, right on the top side of the speedway. Coming off turn number 4, Will Vaught leads lap number 1. Dave Eckrich runs second, Moyer third, Anderson fourth, fifth. Then it's back to Chad Simpson in sixth, Terry Phillips in seventh. Denny Eckrich in eighth as the 33X of Eric Turner is off the speedway. He will call it a night here as we complete the second lap. Dave Eckrich, Moyer, Chris Simpson, John Anderson, your top 5. As third and fourth now hotly contested battle between the 32 and the 21. Chris Simpson slides in front of Moyer. Laps go quick here at US 36. Vaught right up on the top side of the speedway. Eckrich running second. Simpson third. Anderson. Anderson has slid up in front of the 21 of Moyer. So your top car fan out single file. Vaught quickly approaching lap traffic here. And Simpson now up into the second spot. Boy, Chris Simpson, good race car here tonight, up from fifth to second in 5 laps. As Vaught rolls the 65 of Benning. Simpson still second, third, Moyer fourth, Dave Eckrich fifth. Down into turn 1 and 2. Simpson still has the advantage off down the back straightaway. Vaught at heavy lap traffic. Boy, he's rolling around the 8 of Perkins. Also the 0 of Rick Tech there on the exit. Turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Vaught able to get in front of the first 2 there to go a lap down. Rick Tick now next up on the hit list for the 1 of Vaught. 8 laps in already, 40 distance. Tonight's race brought to you by Lucas Cattle Company. Find out more information online, lucascattlecompany.com. As Chris Simpson now fighting lap traffic. He'll get into the 1 of Rob Moss and Johnny the inside of the 32. So 2 and 32 lock up low side 1 and 2. Down the exit of turn 2. It'll be Chris Simpson having the spot over the 2 of Anderson as Moyer is right in tow as well. Boy, second, third, fourth. Excellent battle here as they're a turn behind the 1 of who's entering turn 3. Simpson has Anderson here 3 to 4 car lengths back as Simpson will roll to the inside of Rick Tick as well. Moyer next. Still good battle. That's where the race is. Point leaders for the Corn Belt Clash and the MLRA. Right there on the exit of turn. A complete lap 12. Ross to the infield. He'll call it a night. As Vaught still your leader, exiting turn 4. Simpson Anderson. Really good battle. As the 65 of Benning goes 1 more lap down. Second, third, and fourth place all get around him. Boy, Mark Dotson, Kevin Sather, contact there between the 2 lap cars right in front of the leader, Will Vaught. As Vaught has to whoa up right there as the 2 guys battling their 4th and 5th in series standings, but close to going a lap down here tonight. As Vaught now pulls to the back of the 3 of Sather. He'll now go to the inside there, and he and Sather make contact going down the back straightaway. Boy, Chris Simpson has all but closed the gap on the 1 of Will Vaught. Vaught, Simpson, Anderson. Boy, Will had his hands full trying to get around the 3 car. Down the back chute into turn 3. Anderson and Simpson right in tow. Moyer is hot on their tails. Moyer will now roll to the inside of the 3 of Sather as well. 17 laps complete. Simpson now. Good race car. He has Earl Pearson Jr. here in the pit area helping tune on that Longhorn chassis tonight. Still Simpson Anderson. Best battle on the racetrack thus far as we're nearly halfway done. Kevin Sather pulls off. He'll call it a win. Now the 0 of Rick Tech, the 85 of Mark Dotson. Next on the hit list for the 1 of Vaught is Anderson up into second. Anderson shuts the door on the 2 of Vaught shuts the door rather on the 2 of Anderson as we're 20 laps complete. Fantastic racing thus far. Boy, Will Vaught narrowly slammed the door shut there last time by on the 2 of Anderson. Moyer now around the 32 of Simpson. So Billy Moyer up to 3rd. Vaught exits 2. He'll go to the inside of Dotson. As it'll be Vaught, Dotson, Anderson, your top 3 cars in running order as Anderson and Dotson make contact, although Dotson a lap down. Anderson in the 2nd spot. As Chris Simpson is quickly faded from 2nd to 4th. Vaught, Anderson, Moyer, Chris Simpson, back to Dave Eckrich in 5th. As lap car being shown the move over flag. Mike Collins next to go down a lap. Collins with trouble in the top of turn 2. Mike Collins slows. We'll see if he's able to pull to the infield or if we will draw a yellow flag. Collins still slow in 3 and 4. He will look to get back on pace as the leaders are down in 3 and 4. Collins off the racetrack there in turn 1. So still Vaught, Anderson, Moyer. The 90 of Tim Eisenberg will go a lap down next. We ran 26 caution-free laps thus far as Moyer rolls the inside of John Anderson. Billy Moyer coming to life in the 21. He and Anderson side by side now for 1st and 2nd. Oh, they make contact in 1 and 2. Both cars scrub speed and lose ground on the leader, Vaught. As the 90 of Tim Eisenberg next to go down a lap. Boy, been a rock'em sock'em feature so far. Excellent racing, caution-free, as we're nearly 3/4 of the way home. A tune-up for the Silver Dollar Nationals taking place this weekend, I-80 Speedway, Greenwood, Nebraska. You don't want to miss it. Your top 2 cars running here tonight are guaranteed to start that $25,000 to win race by virtue of earlier wins at I-80 this season. And John Anderson rolls the inside. He'll throw a slider on Will Vaught. We got a battle for the lead. New leader down the back stretch of turn number 2. They'll have to hit the flag stand this time by to make it official. As John Anderson has taken over the top spot, lap 30. As Vaught back to 2nd. Moyer 3rd. We'll see what 2nd and 3rd have in store now. If they're going to get anything done, they need to do it quick. As Moyer and Vaught nearly make contact through turns 1 and 2. Moyer has to get off the gas as there's now about 4 to 5 car lengths between the top 3 cars. Tim Eisenberg slows the pace of the number 2 car. Anderson, Vaught, Moyer, Chris Simpson, your 5th place car, nearly a straightaway back to the 58 of. Those are your top 5. 4 down. Anderson still unable to get around Eisenberg. He'll try a different line this time. Roll the top side through 3 and 4, and he will get around the 9T of Eisenberg as there's trouble. Turn 4, Vaught and Moyer both make contact. Billy Moyer slow up in turns 1 and 2. Left rear quarter panel damage, right front nose damage on the 1 of Will Vaught. 35 laps complete. The first yellow flag flies this evening for the 21 of Billy Moyer. Will Vaught led the first 29 laps tonight. John Anderson passed him down in turn 4. Check that pass to Anderson, passed him actually over in turn 2. Made it official. 31. Contact between the 1 and the 21 brings out the yellow flag tonight. Boy. We'll see. Looks like officials will allow Will Vaught to restart here. All sorts of nose damage. You got to wonder about the handling aerodynamics, what's left of the front end of that race car. He's got another one in the box. Vaught had that car put away. He broke a transmission down at Batesville at the Bad Boy 98 earlier this year. Had not raced the car since then. Thought he'd roll it out tonight. 5 laps to go. Lights off. Anderson, Vaught, Simpson, Eckrich, your top 4 with Phillips in 5th. Chris Simpson now looking to the inside of the 1 of Vaught. Oh, there goes the front portion of the nose there for Vaught on the right side. Will stay green. It's up out of the groove. 4 laps remaining. Anderson now out by about 3/4 of a straightaway. Your remaining cars on the track. Single file here in the later portions of the race. Vaught back to 3rd and falling. Terry Phillips digging hard right there in the 75. Trying to get around the one of Vaught. He'll have a couple more chances to do so. We'll see what the 75 has. Really the first driver up really on the top of the speedway here late in the race of the cars remaining out on the track. Anderson glued to the bottom off turn 3 and 4. White flag one more time. Phillips right up underneath the one of Will Vaught. Oh my, all sorts of contact right there as Anderson rolls down the back chute into 3 and 4. John Anderson will win the race. Simpson finishes in the 2nd spot, and it'll be Terry Phillips coming home 3rd at the line. He'll get around the 1V of Vaught. Wow, what an intense feature race. We'll get out on the front stretch and get a word with some of these drivers here in just a moment. Down in AAA Missouri victory lane, John Anderson picks up his 4th Lucas Oil MLRA victory of the season. We'll get him out of the race car, get a word with him. Crew Chief Vinny Giuliani down here on the right front, working on the right front of the race car. As we juggle the winner's trophy, John Anderson, win number 4 here for the 2012 season. We'll get John Anderson right here and get word with him. Get a congratulations celebration there from Vinny Giuliani. What's the start of a long weekend for you, John Anderson? You come home in fine style tonight. Tell me about the race.
Yeah, sure did. You know, I mean, I put a limited amount of tear-offs on there for the first part of the race. I was just trying to ride around the bottom there, and it was working, kept getting better. I seen the guys racing pretty hard, so I just trying to be patient there and crank it up there at the end a little bit. You know, last couple of weeks we've got our tails beat, so we went back to work, and it's paid off tonight. You know, I mean, it's a little different track condition than what we're used to, but you know, we've been missing on our setup every time we go out, so we're glad we hit on her tonight.
You started 4th. At what point did you know you had a pretty good race car here this evening?
I don't know about that. I mean, I felt like I had a pretty good race car in the hot laps, you know, and then when I was able to pass in the heat, and I was able to keep up there in a different groove that probably wasn't the fastest, I knew I was pretty good. I just needed to be patient there, and I knew lap traffic would be tough, and it was. And, you know, just try and be patient, be there at the end.
Vaught led the first 30 laps. Tell me about how you set him up to slide him over in 1 and 2.
I don't know about a setup or anything. He was wheeling her pretty hard there, and I think he got up into the concrete, and I just rolled her off in there. I knew that was my shot, you know. I've been beat leading here the last couple of weeks, and it's kind of easy to not easy. It's easier in second, so I just took advantage of that and tried to cut good laps and come home with the win.
Congratulations, John Anderson, tonight's winner here at US 36. We'll slide back here and get a quick word with Chris Simpson. Chris, you started 5th tonight. You come home in the runner-up spot. Tell me about your run.
It was good. You know, we raced up to 2nd right away, and then the motor got hot. I had to start letting off a little bit. I didn't want to burn it down, so it kind of sucks. You know, we had a good car. We had Earl Pearson and all those guys here helping us, so we struggled in hot laps, so we got it pretty good for the feature.
Are they able to work their magic morale booster to get those guys here?
No. I tried to get them to race, but I told them when I was done, I told them I was glad they didn't because there'd be one more I'd have to beat. So, you know, they're good help anytime I can get them at the track with me. So, that's all. I guess I just got to take it when I can.
Quick look ahead, Silver Dollar Nationals coming up. A lot of these race fans will be on their way to Greenwood this weekend. You led the first part of that race last year. Do you feel like your guns are loaded and looking for a repeat performance and maybe a trip to victory lane there?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're due, that's for sure. We've had a lot of good runs. The car's been good. This is a brand new car, 4th night out on it, and we had 2 good runs in Lucas Oil last week, 6th and 10th. So we're ready for tomorrow. You know, who knows? You know, I led the first half of the last time. You know, I might not make the show this time. You just never know with racing.
All right, there he is, Chris Simpson, tonight's runner-up. Slip back here to get one more word with Terry Phillips as a mod during staging. We'll get the driver part of Team Cussard up. Terry Phillips, 3rd place run. I guess we'll start with the last couple laps. And Mr. Vaught, you were able to get around him, but not before you got into him. Tell me about what happened there at the end.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something wrong with his front end or whatever. I got to run on the outside of him, and the lap before he stayed right on the bottom, and he was around the bottom, and when I went around the top, he come flying across the racetrack, and I locked him up, and I still hit him, but I think he had problems with the front end or something. But anyway, just lucky enough to get by him there on the last lap.
It looked like your car came to you late. Were you conserving and then all of a sudden just decided to make your run, or did it really come to you at that point?
No, I was too tight, and it got better as the race went on, but trying not to kill it. We got a bunch of big races coming up, so just trying to get a good finish.
Terry Phillips, 3rd place tonight here at US 36 Raceway. Thank you, race fans. We'll send out a big congratulations again to the Shop Quick crew, Greg, the team owner, Greg Young is down there, Vinny Giuliani, the crew chief as well. And we'll send it back up top. The modifieds are in staging.